So I'm here in my freaking bed working, and the video I was working on was it's this podcast episode with Laura Putnam. And funny enough, Laura's main advice in this podcast episode was to alternate working and taking a break to shift your focus. She gave some examples like when you're working real hard, every hour stand up for 2 minutes. When you're working real hard, every hour, when you need to go to the printer, go to a faraway printer, or stand up for every phone call. And so I've been cranking away at this podcast. You can see the podcast down there. Um, but I was like, you know what? This is the perfect time for me to actually apply the wisdom of the podcast. So I'm just gonna stand up and take a dang break and talk to you guys. So, good morning. Good morning. And I'm so sore from working out. Oh my god. But what I thought was interesting about uh, Laura's podcast was the research. She's such a good researcher. So her advice to take 2 minutes of your time during the day uh, and to use that time to be per hour. So where you take 2 minutes per hour, or you stand up during the phone calls, you take a walking break around the block. That advice is based on research, and this is mind blowing, and I'll tell you why. Just absolutely mind blowing, because so many people that I know, managers, data scientists, you name it, they're under the gun. They got to produce work, and they don't have enough time to go to the gym, let alone if they have family, for an hour a day, 5 days a week. They don't have time. And so that they want to go to the gym, they feel bad about not going to the gym. It's a negative cycle. But what Laura is offering, and the research is saying, is there's a different way in which you can be productive and healthy at the same time. And the key is to build in these little movement breaks during your day. You got to stand up, you got to move, and you got to do that consistently every hour. There's a lot more to it than that, but that's the heart of it. There's things on how to remember, how do you set a culture about it, how do you do it. And Laura, go check her out, her work. She's great. There's links below. Listen to the podcast episode for the whole thing, or just watch this conversation that we have about this little principle of alternating between type B activities, which is resting, versus type A activities, which is like, your alpha time, rushing, doing stuff. And the importance of getting both at the same time, this little balance. So that's all for now. And I think about 2 minutes is up, so I'm going to go back to work. Peace.